Hi Miss, this is Tirisha Arumugam from MSU Penang. I'm going to present my 5 lesson plans and also I'll be explaining my worksheets too. This is my lesson plan for listening skills. So the learning objective for this is pupils will be able to introduce at least 3 family members using simple sentences and also use personal pronouns correctly when describing family members and participate in a short speaking activity with peers confidently. So the materials I used for this: audio recording of my family story, flashcards of family members, and also worksheets. Okay, for the pre-lessons, I will introduce the topic my family and shows flashcards and names each family member. For example, father, mother, sister, brother, grandmother, and grandfather. And explain that to the pupils will listen to a short story about a family. During the lesson, I will play the audio My Family twice. And people will listen and circle the family members mentioned on their worksheet. For the second time, people will listen and match the description to the family correctly. Okay. For the post lesson, I will check the answers together with the class and also take turns saying one sentence about their own family. And I'll ask the people who is in your family. People will answer using short phrases. And I'll end the lesson by emphasizing the importance of family love. That's all for this, and I'm going to show my worksheet. This is the worksheet for listening. This is the lesson plan for speaking skill. The learning objective are pupils will be able to introduce at least 3 family members using simple sentences and also pronounce correctly when describing family members and participate in a short speaking activity with peers confidently. Materials I use for this: flashcards and pictures of family members, family tree chart and name tags. So for the pre-lesson, I will greet the peoples and show picture of their family. And also I will be asking some questions. And during the lesson, I will introduce the key sentence structure. For example, this is my, for example, maybe mother, sister. And also pupils need to repeat after the teacher. And then for the closure post-lesson, pupils draw their own simple family tree and use it to introduce their family members to the class. And I will be giving positive feedback and praises. And then I will recap the key phrases learned and repeat together: this is my family, I love my family. And this is all, and I'll be moving to the worksheet. This is the worksheet for speaking skills. This is the lesson plan for reading. Learning objectives are pupils will be able to read a short text about a family aloud with correct pronunciation and identify at least 3 family members mentioned in the text and match simple sentences to the correct family member's picture. Materials: short text My Family from textbook and also picture cards matching worksheet. So for the pre-lesson, I will greet the pupils and ask, do you remember our last lesson about family? And I'll be showing a picture of family and ask, who can you see? And then I'll introduce the key vocabulary: father, mother, brother, sister, grandmother, and grandfather. The pupils will repeat after the teacher. And then I will show each word and picture to help understanding. So during the lesson, teacher distributes the short text titled My Family. Example, this is my family, my father works in a shop, and more. So pupils repeat reading after the teacher line by line, and in pairs, people take turns reading to each other and underline the family members mentioned. closure post lesson, people do a matching worksheet, match sentences to the correct family member picture. And I'll check the answers with the class, and volunteers read their favorite sentence aloud. And then I'll be recapping the keywords and praises people's reading effort. And I'll be going to the worksheet. This is the worksheet for reading. This is the lesson plan for writing. So the learning objective are people will be able to write at least 5 words related to the family correctly and construct 3 simple sentences about their family members and complete a short guided writing activity about their family. Worksheets for this lesson plan with sentences frames, family picture and word cards. So for the pre-lesson, I will be showing a picture of a happy family. So people will be able to respond with the simple words like mother, father and sister. During the lesson, I will write the key vocabulary on board and people read and spell the words together. And then I'll be modeling the sentences. This is my father, he is a teacher, I love my family. And people are given a worksheet with sentences frames. And then people fills the blanks using their own family members. Then draws a picture of their family and write the 3 sentences about them below the drawing. For the post lesson, the people will be sharing their writing with a partner or read 1 sentence aloud to the class. And I will be displaying some of people's work on the board and positive reinforcement given to need and efforts. So I'll be showing the worksheets. This is the worksheet for writing. This is the worksheet for grammar. So the learning objective are people will be able to identify the correct use of is, am and are in given sentences and complete at least 5 sentences using suitable to be verbs and use he and she correctly when talking about family members. Materials, flashcards with pictures of family members, mini whiteboards, grammar worksheet. So for the pre-lesson, I will be greeting people and show flashcards of family members and ask who is he, who is she. And then during the lesson, I will be writing examples on the whiteboard. And then explains the use of am, is, are. Pupils repeat each sentence aloud. And then I'll be giving their worksheet with fill in the blanks. And then people complete their sentences individually and then I'll be checking their answers together and explains common mistakes. And also practice speaking the sentences with their partners using flashcards. For the post lesson, group activity. Pupils are given mixed sentence cards, some correct and some wrong. And then the groups must identify and correct the mistakes. And then I will be reviewing the correct answers with the class. And then teacher asks a few pupils to say 1 correct sentence about their family and then praise their effort and reinforces for the grammar point. And the worksheet for the grammar is this. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Miss. A very good morning. My name is Vishnudevi Monsunjan and I am from MSc Penang. So today I'm going to present my 5 lesson plan and the teaching material that I attached for this activity. So let's see the first skill. So the first skill is listening skill. For the listening skill, I choose year 4. And also the theme is word of self and the topic is my week and the language focus is simple present and present continuous. So for this activity, the learning objective, by end of the lesson, people will be able to identify at least 5 out of 6 sentences correctly as simple present or present continuous after listening the weather reporter live audio. And the second learning objective is differentiate between routines, actions, and also current actions by clarifying sentence correctly in the listening worksheet. So the success criteria, by end of the lesson, people will be able to construct and say aloud one sentence in a simple present and another one in a present continuous. And the second one is explain in their own words the difference between routine actions, simple present, and the actions happening now is present continuous. So the teaching material I use is Weather Reporter Live Audio and Weather Reporter Live Worksheet, and also Year 4 English textbook and DSKP Year 4. So for the pre-lesson, the aim is to introduce to the concept of simple present and present continuous tense using visuals. So first, teacher greets the students and shows 2 image side of the screen. Picture 1, a boy brushing his teeth every morning. Picture 2, the same boy brushing his teeth right now. Second one, the students answer guiding questions. What is he doing in a picture 1 and what is he doing in a picture 2? Third, teacher explained the difference between simple present and present continuous. When we talk about the things do regularly, we use simple present. When we talk about the things happening right now, we use present continuous. So the fourth one is students read another example. For example, he brushes his teeth every morning, simple present. And he's brushing his teeth now, present continuous. So for the lesson delivery, the activity is weather reporter live. So for the lesson delivery aim to allow students to listen and identify the correct tense from the weather report. So the fifth one, students receive the weather reporter live worksheet, and the students listen to the weather report talking about the week's weather. Some sentences are about routine weather and some are about the happening now. The seventh, students listen carefully to the audio 3 times and fill out the worksheet. And the eighth the teacher discuss their answer, which is which sentence tell about us the routine and which sentence shows what's happening now. The ninth one, the students answer orally and the teacher provides feedbacks emphasizing the correct verbs and forms. And for the post-lesson, aim is to reinforce students' understanding, allow them to produce their own sentence. And the tenth is teacher randomly calls students to come in front. And the 11th one, each student created and says 2 sentences, like one using simple present routine and another one using present continuous action now. For example, I play football every week, every evening, and I'm playing video games right now. So the 12th, teacher gives praises and gentle correction if needed. And the lastly, 13 is conclude and classify simple present, regularly or habit actions, and the present continuous is action happening right now. So this is the teaching material, which is the weather reporter live worksheet. Okay, next go to the second lesson plan. So the second lesson plan is speaking skills. For the speaking skills I choose year 5, and the theme is world of knowledge and the topic is wildlife, and the language focus is vocabulary, and the learning objective is by end of the lesson the pupil will be able to ask and answer at least 3 questions about the animal. And the second one is identify animal using listening clues. And the success criteria by end of the lesson, people will be able to produce a simple descriptive sentence about the wild animal. And the second one is demonstrate understanding of wild animal characteristic like size, habit, and food through the speaking activities. So the teaching materials for this activity I use is wild animal flashcards and bag or box, and also year 5 English textbook and DSKP year 5. So for the pre-lesson, the aim is to activate prior knowledge and introduce vocabulary. So the teacher shows wild animal flashcards like tiger, lion, giraffe, elephant, and zebra. And the students identify animals like T, what is this animal? And P, it is a tiger. And the teachers model a simple sentence like it is big, it just lives in the jungle, it can run. And the review questions pattern on board, where does it live? What does it eat? And can it run, fly, or swim? So the lesson delivery, the activity is safari mystery cards. The aim is ask and answer the questions about the animals. So the students sit in the group of 4 and the teacher puts the wild animal flashcards inside the bags or box. One student picks a flashcard secretly and another asks questions to guess the animal. Like, it is big or small? Where does it live? What does it eat? And the students answer without naming the animal. It is big. It is live in Africa and it is eats meat. The group guesses, is it a lion, for example, and the rotate rows until the every student is participated. And post lesson aim is reinforce learning and the check understanding. 2 to 3 students share the sentence about the animal they played with. And I guessed a lion, it lives in savanna, for example. And the teachers describe one animal at the class guesses. And quick recap, we asked and answered the questions about the wild animal. And this is the teaching material I attached, which is wild animal flashcard. So for the third lesson plan is reading skills. So for reading skills, I choose year 5. And the theme is world of knowledge and topic is wildlife, and also the language focus is vocabulary. So for the learning objective, by end of the lessons, students will be able to read and answer 3 to 4 short text riddles and fill in the blanks. And another one is use appropriate language and vocabulary to answer the questions and write the short sentence. And the success criteria, by end of the lesson, the people will be able to develop creativity in a critical thinking through the solving riddles and discussing the animal facts. Another one is participate actively in a group gameplay, taking turns and reading cards aloud and discussing answers. So the teaching materials I use is wild animal game board and also A4 paper or book. And also year 5 English textbook and the escape year 5. So for the pre-lesson, aim is to activate the students' background knowledge to introduce vocabulary and greet the students and shows the animal board game and introduce the key words that appear in the board game. For example, cage, escape, and golden cage. So they have another box which is start and end. This is where all the players begin and finish the game. And the escape column is a player who landed here received an escape pause, and if a group member is stuck in a cage, they can use this pause to free them. And the cage column is a player who landed here loses 1 turn and must stay in the cage until another group member lands on the escape and uses the escape pause to free them. And the golden cage column, players who landed here, they get a bonus rolls and they can roll the dice again immediately. So explain the 4 types of card briefly, which is exclamation marks is a riddle card, and question mark is a fill in the blanks card, and P for punishment card, and A for animal card. And ask the students simple questions like, what animal do you know and where do animals live? So for the lesson delivery activity, the wild animal board game, the aim is to use the reading strategies and writing simple answers to the fun board game. So divided the students into small groups, 4 to 5% in a group, and explain how to set up the game. So place the board game in the center of the group and put 4 types of cards in the center, which is exclamation marks for riddles, question marks for fill in the blanks, P for punishment, and A for animals. So each player start and end in a box and move clockwise. Rolls or roll the dice and move the token. And when you land on the symbol or label, take the corresponding cards and read it aloud. Write or say answers clearly before the next player turns. Discuss answer with teammates and write a short response for the question mark, which is fill in the blanks, and also a card, which is animal card, in a 1 to 2 sentence. So for the post lesson, aim is to reflect and reinforce learning, to ask this each group to share their riddles or fill in the blanks question they found in the interesting, and the teachers give feedbacks on word guessing and the sentence writing. So this is the teaching material, which is wild animal what came. So they have question marks, exclamation marks, P card and A card in the center of the board game. So yeah, so let's move to our fourth lesson plan. So for the fourth lesson, for the next lesson plan is writing skills. For the writing skills, I choose year 4, and the theme is word of self, and the topic is my week, and the language focus is simple present and present continuous. So for the learning objective, by end of the lesson, people will be able to identify and distinguish between simple present and present continuous. And another one, use simple presents to describe daily routines and themselves in a cartoon characters. In the success criteria, by end of the lesson, people will be able to confidently share their sentence orally with minimal teacher guidance. And also another one is identify verb in both tenses from the short comic strips to the classified them correctly. So the teaching material is cartoon printed worksheet and also year 4 English textbook and the SKP year 4. So for the pre-lesson, a quick guessing game, which is teachers show pictures of the familiar cartoons character doing different actions. For example, SpongeBob's cooking, Dora is reading. So the students describe what is the characters doing every day for the simple present and versus what they're doing right now in the picture for present continuous. So for example, SpongeBob is cooks every day, and SpongeBob is cooking now. So they have a difference between it. And teachers review the difference between daily routine, simple present, and the actions happening now, present continuous. So for the lesson delivery, pair activity, interview a character. So the teacher distribute every student a printed worksheet, and the students choose a cartoon characters, or the teacher assign one, and they write 3 to 4 questions the character about their daily routines and the current actions. For example, what do you do every day and what are you doing now? So the students take turns answering the characteristics using present and present continuous. And reading task short comic strip, which is students read a short comic strip featuring their chosen character and identify verbs in simple present routines and present continuous current actions. To discuss within a pairs what is the character's daily routine versus what is happening right now. So for the post lesson, writing task is cartoon characters day. Students write a short paragraph describing the character's day in the same worksheet and encourage them to use of simple present for routines like Tom goes to school every day, simple continuous for current actions. Example, Tom is eating lunch now, and basic coordinating conjunction like and then but, and also lastly reference pronouns he, she, they, and sharing the feedbacks, volunteer read their answer aloud, and the teacher highlight corrects used tenses and provided gentle actions. So this is the teaching material, which is the cartoon printed worksheet. So for the reading task and writing task, they did in a one worksheet, which is this one. So let's move the last lesson plan, which is grammar skills. And for the grammar skills, I choose year 4. and the theme is World of Self, and the topic is My Week, and the language focus is grammar, past tense, regular and irregular verbs. So for the learning objective, by end of the lesson, people will be able to use 5 regular or irregular past tense verbs correctly in sentence. Another one is construct at least 5 simple past tense in a group activity. So for the success criteria, by end of the lesson, people will be able to share at least 5 correct past tense sentence orally, and another one write at least 3 correct paragraph using the past tense. So the teaching material is work card, past tense chart, and A4 paper, of course, and year 4 English textbook and DSKP year 4. So for the pre-lesson, show the students 3 to 4 work card, for example, run, eat, play, and read. The students act out the word and the teacher's model past tense sentence. For example, I ran yesterday, I ate right yesterday. So the students repeat after teacher. And for the lesson delivery, activity name is My Week Past Tense Timeline. And the place the work cards face down on the teacher's desk. Divide the class into groups of 4 to 5, and one student from each group runs to pick a card, and they return to the group and write one past tense and sentence on a paper. Example, card equals to play. Sentence equals to on Sunday, I played football. Next week, next group members runs and repeat the same and continues until each group writes 5 sentences. So for the post lesson, students pick one sentence they wrote, they stand and say it to the partner, call 3 to 4 students to share with the classes. Example, on Saturday, I went to my grandmother's house. And teacher's task is just to what new word do you learn, and teachers ask, and what do you use why do we use past tense, and the students response. So this is the teaching materials, which is verb card and also past tense chart. So that's all from me, Miss. Thank you so much. So this is my 5 lesson plan, and yeah, thank you so much.